Nathan smiled at the Doom faction messenger as Ulrich and Amelia approached the scene. Nathan motioned toward them.
"My father and sister, may they come as well?"
The messenger nodded.
"Of course, sir. As you please."
Nathan quickly raced over to his family in the crowd.
"Father, sister, someone important wants to treat us to lunch. Shall we go?"
Ulrich's eyes grew wide. As soon as the messenger had arrived and called out his son's name, he was starstruck.
"How surreal is this? The Doom faction deputy wants to meet my son. No other noble family has ever even seen him before. Why, even Duke Godrickson himself has to request an audience with Officer Kane just to be able to speak with him. This is crazy."
Ulrich beamed at his son. Nathan quirked an eyebrow.
"Okay, is that a yes?"
Finally, Ulrich snapped out of it.
Yes, of course. We must go at once."
Nathan raced back to the waiting envoy.
"Apologies for the delay. Thank Deputy Officer Kane for his kind invitation, and tell him we will meet him at the Dark Tower shortly." "Very well, then. I shall take my leave."
With that, the messenger mounted his horse, turned around, and galloped off without another glance at the crowd or the High Lord Raven. The horse's hooves on the cobblestones echoed, growing fainter over time until they disappeared entirely.
Horse trotting away.
Nathan, Amelia, and Ulrich left the city center soon after, ignoring the many jealous eyes around them. No sooner had they departed than the hall buzzed with whispers.
"Hey, did you see that?" "What did he say to them?" "The deputy officer of the Doom faction just invited the Hayfield family to lunch with him." "No way! If only that were me instead. Imagine how grand that must be. House Hayfield must really be on the rise now." "An 8th rank result will do it. Still, it's incredible how quickly they were summoned to him. Nathan Hayfield must be really special indeed." I don't buy it. Something fishy must be going on." "Oh, please. You're just jealous like the rest of us. Can't you see that Nathan Hayfield must be brimming with talent? Why else would a deputy officer invite him over? That Hayfield boy sure has brought a lot of honor to us warriors from Dunshire."
Despite all of the speculations tossed around, it was clear that everyone knew that Nathan was to credit for his family's rise in status. The gossips knew that when it came to House Hayfield, it was Nathan, not his father, who shined brightest. Many others wondered aloud why Nathan had been chosen to dine with the Doom faction and not Stuart Lightstone, who had placed first among all the students. This fact further inflamed the debate, and many wild theories were floated and discussed. Meanwhile, Cedric and the High Lord Raven's faces reflected utter disgust. Remus spit as if the Hayfield's very name had brought bile to his mouth. His hatred for House Hayfield grew only stronger. He stroked his beard as he coldly pondered this turn of events.
How could the Doom faction invite that family of all noble houses? What could they possibly wish to discuss with that Hayfield brat? I must do everything I can to learn what's behind all this. There's no way Nathan could have performed so well without cheating.
Suddenly, Lord Byram Clay appeared beside his patron and broke the High Lord Raven's concentration.
High Lord Raven, can it truly be that the messenger just now was from the Doom faction? Did I hear all that correctly? There must be some mistake, right, my lord? I mean, that boy's a murderer, for crying out loud.
Remus turned to Lord Byram. He put a comforting hand on his distraught vassal's shoulder.
Lord Clay, I think it's time for you and me to discuss the end of House Hayfield once and for all. Come to my family's compound with haste.
Lord Byram smiled sinisterly and nodded his head.
At once, my lord. I'll gather the men of my house and meet you there shortly. Finally, we shall see justice done.
Lord Byram cackled as he swiftly left the crowd. Lord Crow turned to his son Cedric.
Cedric, my boy, Make sure your swords are sharpened. In the coming days you shall need them." "Yes, father, with pleasure."
"Ah, Lord Hayfield, finally, you've all made it."
"Thank you, sire. It's a great honor to meet you. Thank you for inviting my son to lunch."
Deputy Officer Kane stood and shook Ulrich's hand as the Hayfields entered the Dark Tower's private dining suite. Even though Ulrich was many years older, he knelt before Officer Kane until he was encouraged to stand up and take a seat. They all sat on a terrace overlooking the city, and the view itself was something to behold. Kane smiled at Nathan as the boy saluted him.
"Deputy Officer Kane, sir, I thank you for your hospitality."
Amelia also nodded her head.
"Yes, thank you very much."
"Don't bother kneeling, you two. The polite formalities are nice and all, but that's not why you're here. Please, just sit and drink with me as my men prepare the meal." Ulrich laughed sheepishly. Despite Kane's casual nature, he knew the man in front of them had the skill necessary to wipe them out at a moment's notice if he wanted to. "Relax. Seriously, I promise I won't bite. Have some of this ale." Nathan, meanwhile, sat calmly across from the powerful officer.
"So why am I here exactly, sir?"
Kane motioned toward the mugs of ale, and after Nathan took a sip, Kane smiled. "I think you know, but first, cheers to an exciting future for a powerful young man." Ulrich gripped his mug and held it high. Soon after, his children copied him. "Hear, hear!" Clink. They clinked their mugs together and drank. Time passed as they enjoyed an elaborate meal. The Hayfields feasted on the finest cuts of venison, duck, and mutton chops, all drizzled in a fancy sauce, topped with precisely cut root garnishes and fried potatoes. As the meal neared its end, Officer Kane finally spoke. "Lord Ulrich, you have raised a remarkable son, and now, with the results of the examination up for all to see, the realm knows it as well as I do." Ulrich nervously gulped down the food in his mouth before answering. "I swear to you, my lord, I had nothing to do with it. Nathan trains largely on his own, without any supervision. The strength he's built up is his own." "Yes, we know your son's training habits well. We also know how basic his routine was until after the dueling incident. After that, well, his training has improved at an accelerated rate, almost as if he received some sort of divine inspiration." Nathan scratched his head nervously.
Officer Kane, I had no idea you kept such a close track of me. I promise you, I've just tried harder since that first fight with Jason. Splitting one's head open has a way of motivating you."
Officer Kane chuckled. "I bet it does, and don't be so unsettled. My Doom-faction spies are everywhere, and they know about everything of significance that happens in this fiefdom. It was not difficult for them to learn of your activities once we became aware of you." Nathan nodded his head as he let Kane's words sink in.
"I guess that makes a lot of sense. How else could the Doom faction rule over so many greedy lords and power-hungry kingdoms otherwise? It isn't just their raw strength. It's their ability to know everything about everybody. That's what keeps the nobles as meek as mice around them. I wonder."
Before Nathan could ask a question, Deputy Officer Kane gazed at him. "Keep up your training, Nathan, and at this rate, I guarantee you there will be many rewards to reap from your hard efforts. As you may have guessed, we subdued your ranking. I hope you understand my reason for why that was necessary, but I'm under no misguided flights of fancy when I say that you are undoubtedly the strongest youth in all of Godric's land." Amelia and Ulrich looked up in shock. Their jaws dropped. Ulrich nearly leaped out of his seat with joy.
I knew it. Officer Kane, sir, you're far too kind.
Nathan simply chuckled. I understand your reasoning, sir. On top of the obvious political ramifications that the Doom faction does not wish to influence, you're afraid I'd grow complacent with my training, that I'd grow full of myself, and that my advancement would decline. I see how you might think that, but I can assure you, with me, that will not happen. Nathan saluted Officer Kane as he took a swig of ale. Kane grinned at the boy's confident demeanor. I think I'm beginning to agree with you, young man. Lord Ulrich, you have indeed raised a rare warrior. He still has much to learn, but with time, I do not doubt he will spread your family name across the kingdom, if not farther. Officer Kane, please, you honor me too much. I'm just lucky the heavens blessed me with such strong children. Another toast, then, in your honor and in theirs, to strong children. Cheers! Mugs clinked together. Once again, the Hayfields drank with Officer Kane. As Kane grew tipsy, he accidentally cut himself with a carving knife. Ouch! Ulrich's brow furrowed in concern. Are you all right, sir? Yes, 'tis but a scratch. Amelia jumped out of her seat and examined Officer Kane's hand. Quickly, she pulled out a bandage wrap from her bag and dressed the small wound in no time. Careful with it now, sir, if you please. Wash it tonight with soap and sap from a weeping willow tree. By the morning, it should be mostly healed. Amazing. You're better than some of our own doctors at the Doom faction. What incredible children the Hayfield family has. Your house is truly quite strong. Ulrich sighed as he stared into his ale mug. Yes, they're both marvelous. Meanwhile, I myself have very little power. I've barely managed to hold on to our ancestral seat. Kane patted Ulrich on the shoulder. As the mugs had emptied, the two men had grown closer. Nonsense, Ulrich. Look at your two sires and be proud. I am confident the three of you are the greatest generation of House Hayfield yet. Ulrich grinned. How could he not feel better after such a compliment from such a powerful man? You're right, Kane. I mean, deputy officer, sir. I've been blessed with a chance to really turn things around. Cheers to turning things around. Cheers. Mugs clinked together. Nathan and Amelia sighed and didn't reach for their mugs. They were both sick of the ale already and had no desire to keep up with the two adults as the men's tipsy laughter grew louder. 2 hours had passed when finally the table was cleared, and it was almost time to leave. Nathan stood looking out over the terrace alone, contemplating his future. Suddenly, he sensed Deputy Officer Kane beside him. Nathan, you ought to know what happens next. My report on your strength will be brought to my superior, Officer Wilhelm. If you survive the aristocracy exam, you'll definitely be hearing from us. I hope to see you then. Kane smiled. Ever since Nathan had appeared, he had a strong positive feeling about the boy. Perhaps Nathan really was destined for great things. Nathan himself grew somber as he recalled something he wished to ask Kane earlier. Officer Kane, may I ask you something? Of course. You said you had spies everywhere, and that they told you of all things significant? That they do. What is it you wish to ask me, boy? Nathan pulled out a piece of parchment. On it, he had sketched the strange symbol that had been imprinted on the boot print of his mother's killer. Have you seen this symbol before? Where did you find this? It was on the boot of the assassin who murdered my mother many years ago. Now that my father's house is strong again, I aim to seek vengeance on whoever took my mother's life. The tracks led towards Godricshall. That is not a symbol from this fiefdom, and, I suspect, not of this kingdom either. No? I would have guessed
House Raven or my father's other enemies were involved.
I do not suspect so. I will speak with my brethren on this and see if I can dig anything up.
Thank you, Officer Kane.
Thank me when I've found something. For now, just try not to die before I see you again.
Officer Kane handed back the parchment and disappeared from Nathan's sight.